Hello folks, not going to be getting out in the garage today, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the last video and how it's looking so far, and share a little bit of maybe do's and don'ts that you might want to hear, some admissions and some things I would have done differently if I had to do it all over again, and will do differently in the future. So I'll bring you right back and bring you along for the ride. Oh, and this is Sophie. This is my buddy. I'll be right back. Before I get to the truck, showing you pictures, I just wanted to thank each and every one of you who've come along for the ride so far, and those of you who have joined since I started this channel, and talk a little bit about the last video as far as what it's done for my channel. When I published that video, I was sitting at about 300 subscribers. It's now grown to 587 subscribers. And I appreciate each and every one of you. Just wanted to let you know that. The video has received 29,000, almost 30,000 views so far. 134 comments. I've got some stuff written down here. I mean, 533 likes and 14 dislikes. I really don't understand that, but it's okay. To each his own, I guess. And it's increased the channel views to 30,706 just in the last 28 days. Brings me up to over 70,000 views total since the channel started, and has given me 4,200 watch time hours. Now that has allowed me to become a YouTube, join the YouTube partner program. If I get over 1,000 subscribers, then I'll actually be able to monetize my channel. But honestly, that's really not a big concern. I'm retired. I do this because I enjoy it, and I hope that you guys will continue to come along for the ride and view other projects that I got coming up, and I'll make a video of that here shortly as well. Other cars that people have asked me to work on and things to this nature. So, but right now, still the focus is this truck of my dad's. So, are there some things that I would do different? Yes. Probably the very biggest thing that I would have done differently, well, there's two actually. One would be pay more attention to the bodywork. I jumped the gun and painted it a little too quick, and there is one thing that I probably could have done that could have made a big difference. There's a fellow on YouTube, he goes by Bondo Billy, or Old Bondo Billy, or something like that. And he has a video out where he shows exactly how he does his guide coat before, sanding. And basically what he does is he uses either a flat black or a gloss black. I think he uses flat black, Rustoleum flat black, and paints the truck completely black. I think probably if I would have done that with the sanding board that I used, I would have seen a lot of the problems that have popped up after the truck was painted. Once it gets shiny, you can really see stuff. But with it being just a mist coat that I used, in the days last time I painted, that was perfectly fine. But maybe they didn't have hidden flaws like this one did. But anyway, I think I would have done that differently. I would have probably, if I were to do it again, I would probably just paint the whole truck flat black, and then after the primer, and then sand from there. That probably would have made a lot of difference, because I would have seen a lot more stuff. The other thing that I would have done would have been to use a tack rag before starting to paint. Yeah. I remember in the old days, I used to actually make my own tack rag by hanging a piece of cloth up and putting some of the paint that you're putting on the car on the tack rag, on the rag, and then let that set up for a few minutes, and then it becomes a tack rag. And I don't know why I didn't do that. I just forgot, I guess. And it just never dawned on me to put a tack rag on. Oh well. Anyway, without further ado, I'll take you out to the garage and show you how it looks a month later. Okay, so it's been right out a month since I painted this truck, and there's some things that I've noticed since the paint has settled and cured. It's completely dry now. It's pretty good. So the sheen that was there the day I painted it is not quite as shiny as it was. It's not quite as shiny now as it was the day I painted it. Let's put it that way. But it's still got a good gloss to it. So I'll take you around and show you some areas that I missed, that I could have probably gotten had I done more body work or been a little bit more conscientious of what I was sanding, and maybe used put another coat on after doing the sanding of the high build surface primer surfacer from Rustoleum. So I'll take you around and show you that right now. Like I said, it's still pretty shiny, but nowhere near as glossy as it was the day I painted it. You can still see things in the paint as far as reflections go, but the day I painted it, it was very brilliant. So it did settle down some. The area back here is not quite as glossy as it was that day. It's almost, I don't know how to explain it. It's not really orange peel as a lot of people talk about with Rustoleum, but it just not quite as of a sheen as it was the day I painted it. You can really see it on the hood, and you can see all the dust in it. One person said that they thought they saw not orange peel, fish eyes in the paint, and I think what they were seeing was this right here, which is actually pits from whenever I got all the rust off of the original. When I first started, the very first videos I started with this project, this whole hood was rusted and pitted. I thought that I had gotten them all taken care of with the primer surfacer, but obviously I didn't. Here's another area up here. I don't know if I can get the light just right in this dark garage, but you can actually see pitting from the actual metal. I thought that I had taken care of all that with the primer surfacer, but obviously I didn't. There's sanding scratches that you can see that came through, and this fender here turned out pretty good, but there's on the other side, along the rear fender, I don't know if you can see that dent right in here, right in there. I missed that. I would have seen that if I would have, I think if I would have put a heavier coat of black on it, I probably would have seen it. From 20 feet, truck looks great. From close up, you see issues. How do I fix this? Well, after it cures a little bit more, I still have to do the cowl. But after it cures a little bit more, I can always sand it and buff it. But you know, some things, here's another spot there where you can see the pits from on the hood from the rust. That kind of stuff probably won't go away with sanding and buffing. Am I worried about it? A little, but am I going to do something about it now? No, I'm not. All I'm going to do is put it back together and see if I can get this old truck running. And we might revisit this project at a later date. I do still have to do the, like I said, the cowl and the inside of the bed I want to paint. I may have to buy a little bit more paint to do all that, but I'll get that done probably after I put it all together. But anyway, I just wanted to show you how it looks a month later. And I will turn the camera back around here in a minute and talk a little bit about Rustoleum paint and some concerns that some folks have made in the comments. Okay, some folks have made some comments about the Rustoleum and it not being, it didn't have any UV inhibitors, and that it's going to, you know, turn pink and all kinds of things. And that's all real concerns if you were to go to do a paint job with Rustoleum. However, like I say, I've been using this kind of paint for a long time. One thing I noticed was, like, for instance, I had, if I can find it, I'll put a picture in right here. I painted a race car, and then I also painted the tow truck the same color. The race car spent most of its time in the garage. The only time it came out of the garage was on race day, or if we were moving it from one place to another. So it didn't get much time at all out in the sun. The day I sold that car, the paint job was 3 years old. It still looked just like the day that we painted it. And it had never been waxed, just wiped off, basically. Washed and wiped off, dried. The truck, on the other hand, spent all of its time outside. And within a year, it did start to turn powdery looking, but a coat of wax brought it right back. It always did. All you had to do was just put some wax on it, and it would bring it right back. No compounding or buffing or anything like that, just wax. So yes, in a real world environment, the Rustoleum paint doesn't have much UV protection. That is true. So in that case, if you were going to be putting one outside, this one probably will spend most of its life inside this garage. I'll pull it in and out if I have another car to work on, and then it'll be parked underneath my carport out there while whatever project I'm working on is in here. So most of the time it will be inside. I'm not worried about the UV protection a little bit even. But for those of you who want to use the Rustoleum paint and put it outside, and it has to stay outside all the time, it might be a good idea to put some clear coat over it. Maybe sand it with a very high number grit, like a 2000 or something like that, and then shoot a coat of clear over it. However, I must warn you that Rustoleum a lot of times does not like clear coat. So if the paint is not completely cured and you go to put clear coat on it, it could make it just crinkle up. That is an issue that I've seen on a lot of YouTube videos. I've never tried it personally, but some of those who have been able to put 2K clear over top of it with success. So do your due diligence and research what kind of Rustoleum paint they're using, as well as what kind of clear they're using, to let you know what you need to use and how long you have to wait between the coat of paint and the coat of clear. I do believe that most of them that do it online wait until the paint cures and then put clear coat over top of it by scuff sanding it and then putting the clear coat on. So I think that's about the biggest concerns I've seen in the comments of the original paint video. That was the clear coat, putting clear coat over it, or sanding and buffing. And that sanding and buffing is something that I will probably do with this truck after it's all put back together. And it's right now not my biggest worry. Now my biggest concern, getting the paint in the bed, in the cowl, and get it put back together and get it running so that we can move this truck around and put it back on the road. And then when I have some free time, I will worry about the sheen on the hood and stuff like that. But I really think that once I do the hood, you're really going to see the pits and stuff in the paint, in the paint from the rust that was there that we got rid of. The only way to take care of that really is to paint it again and use more fill primer and just start over again on those areas where that takes place. And then if I did that, I would probably be scuffing the whole truck and addressing all of the body work that I missed and sanding scratches and this, that, and the other thing, and make it right. But like I said, that's not my main priority. This is not to be a show truck. This is to be my dad's truck, just put back on the road. So just to let you know where we stand, and I appreciate each and every one of you who have commented, the nice comments about, you know, great job and all that, and I really appreciate all of it, keeping my dad's memory alive. I can't tell you how much I appreciate that, and for your support in hitting that subscribe button and the like button. It means a lot to me, and it's meant a lot to my channel, and I really do appreciate you guys coming along for the ride. Thanks again.